Hey everyone, and welcome. Now, this explainer is some special extra material for Francisco Lopez's private English students. So if that's you, hello. But if you're not one of his students, you are absolutely welcome to join us. We're about to unlock one of the most useful parts of the English language. Okay, let's just dive right in. We're going to use this fantastic guide from Lopez to really understand what he calls your most important daily power tool for speaking English. And he's not kidding when he calls it a foundational building block. By the end of this, you'll see exactly why. So first up, let's talk about when you actually use this tense. The best part is it's all about talking about your everyday life. This isn't some complex, formal grammar you'll only use for essays. This is for right now, today. According to Lopez, it really all boils down to these four key areas. And just think about it for a second. Your daily habits, facts about your life, what's on your schedule, and what you think and feel. I mean, that covers almost everything you need for a good conversation, from your morning coffee to your opinion on a new song. Now, what's so cool about this is just how normal these sentences are, right? These are things you probably want to say every single day. It just goes to show you that this isn't something you have to study for weeks before you can use it. You can learn it and start speaking immediately. All right, let's get into how to actually build these sentences. We're going to start with the positive ones, the I do this kind of sentences, and there is one very important rule to remember. If you can master this one little detail, you're going to sound so much more natural. And here it is. This is the crucial point. For he, she, or it, you've got to add an S to the verb. This is probably the number one mistake that learners make, but look how simple the pattern is. For I, you, we, they, the verb stays the same. Just for he, she, or it, you pop that S on the end. That's it. And this just shows that sometimes it's not just an S. Now, based on Lopez's guide, these spelling rules exist for a really good reason. They make the words easier to say. Seriously, try saying watches. It's kind of clunky, right? But watches just flows so much better. So these rules aren't here to make grammar hard. They're actually here to make speaking a little easier. But, life isn't always positive, right? So what about when we want to say no or we want to ask a question? Well, we can't just stick the word not in there. We need a special helper verb to come in and do the heavy lifting for us. So let's start with a positive sentence we already know how to make. We've got our subject, he, and our verb, watches, has that ES because it's following the rule we just talked about. Simple enough, right? Okay, so the big question is, how do we flip this around to say he does not do this? This is where our new little helper verb is going to come into play. It's a really simple three-step process. First, we bring in our helper, does not, or just doesn't. Now here's the cool part. Because our helper does is already carrying that special S, the main verb gets to relax. It doesn't need its ES ending anymore, so it just goes back to its original simple form. And voila, there's the final result. The helper does is doing all the hard work, so watches just goes back to being watch. He doesn't watch. It's perfect. So let's just lock this in. You've got to match your helper to your subject, just like we did with the S rule before. Doesn't is for he, she, and it. Don't is for everybody else. And the most important part? The main verb, like watch, play, or study, it always stays simple. No S at the end. Ever. Okay, so we've got the rules down. But of course, in English, there's always an exception, isn't there? And this one's a big one. The verb to be. You can think of this verb as a bit of a celebrity. It's super important. You see it everywhere. And yeah, it plays by its own rules. This is huge. As Lopez points out, to be, am is an R, is totally independent. It's strong enough to make its own negatives and questions. It does not need any help from do or does. If you can just remember this one thing, you are going to avoid so many common mistakes. Just look at this super common mistake. You don't need do or does here at all. To ask a question with to be, you just switch the subject and the verb. It's that easy. Instead of she is, you just flip it to is she. Instead of you are, it becomes are you? Simple. And this slide just lays out the difference perfectly. For the verb to be, you just add not right after it. She is not. Or the contraction, she isn't. But for every other action verb out there, like go, you absolutely need that helper. I don't go. They're two totally different systems. Keep them separate in your mind and you'll be golden.
All right, enough theory, right? You've learned the rules, you've seen the examples, now it's your turn to actually use this power tool. Don't just sit there and listen. Try to answer these out loud. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay, first up, think about your routine. What's one thing you do every single morning? You could say, I drink coffee, or I check my phone, I walk my dog. Simple subject plus verb. Your turn.
Okay, now let's talk about someone else, a he or a she. Remember that little S rule we talked about for positive sentences? He likes to read. She plays video games. So what does your friend like to do? And for our last one, a nice, simple yes or no question using our special celebrity verb to be. You can just answer, yes, I am, or no, I'm not. See? No do or does needed. See? You're already doing it. Seriously, great job. The real key here, as Lopez always emphasizes, is just to practice. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try using these senses in your daily conversations. That is how you're truly going to master this stuff. So, what's next? Keep practicing with your new power tool. And hey, if this explainer was helpful for you, do me a favor and leave a like, and maybe subscribe for more lessons like this. And of course, a huge thank you to Francisco Lopez for providing such a clear and awesome guide for us to work from. All right, before you go, here's my challenge for you. Think of one new sentence using the simple present tense that you are going to use today. Maybe it's about what you're having for dinner, or just a simple fact about your city. Go on and put your new power tool to work. Thanks so much for joining me today.